Beneath the ice of Antarctica lies a world no human has ever seen directly. Hidden mountains taller than the Alps, lakes sealed off for millions of years, and evidence that Antarctica was once warm, green, and alive. This is not science fiction. This is what scientists have discovered beneath the coldest place on Earth. Antarctica is the southernmost continent on Earth. It surrounds the South Pole and is almost entirely covered by ice. Its total area is about 14 million square kilometers, making it the fifth largest continent. Unlike every other continent, Antarctica has no permanent residents, no cities, no countries, no borders, only ice, wind, and scientific research stations scattered across an otherwise lifeless land. Antarctica is the most isolated landmass on the planet. It is surrounded by the Southern Ocean, one of the most violent and dangerous seas known to humans. Waves regularly reach heights of over 15 meters. Temperatures in winter can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Wind speeds can exceed 300 kilometers per hour. No place on Earth combines cold, wind, and isolation like Antarctica. Antarctica was not always frozen. Hundreds of millions of years ago, it was part of a supercontinent called Gondwana. It was connected to South America, Africa, Australia, and India. The climate was mild. Forests covered the land. Dinosaurs walked where ice now lies over 3 kilometers thick. When tectonic plates shifted, Antarctica slowly drifted south. Ocean currents changed. Warm waters stopped reaching the continent. Over millions of years, ice began to form. And once the ice started, it never stopped. Today, Antarctica holds about 60% of all the fresh water on Earth. If all Antarctic ice melted, global sea levels would rise by nearly 60 meters. The ice sheet is not uniform. In some places, it is over 4 kilometers thick. Under that ice, the land is crushed downward by its enormous weight. Large parts of Antarctica's bedrock are actually below sea level. For decades, scientists believed Antarctica was solid rock beneath the ice. They were wrong. Using radar, seismic waves, and satellite data, researchers discovered an entire hidden world. Mountain ranges, deep valleys, rivers carved long before the ice existed. One mountain range beneath the ice is as large as the European Alps. It was completely unknown until the late 20th century. One of the most shocking discoveries was liquid water, under kilometers of ice. Scientists have identified over 400 subglacial lakes beneath Antarctica. The largest is Lake Vostok. It is roughly the size of Lake Ontario. It has been sealed off from the surface for at least 15 million years. No sunlight, no contact with the atmosphere. Yet it remains liquid due to pressure and geothermal heat. Lake Vostok may contain life. Microorganisms adapted to extreme pressure, darkness, and isolation. If life can survive here, it changes how scientists think about life on other planets. Europa, Enceladus, Mars. Antarctica is not just about Earth. It is a test case for the universe. Antarctica does not forgive mistakes. A sudden storm can appear without warning. Whiteouts erase the horizon. Temperatures can kill exposed skin in minutes. Rescue missions are often impossible. If something goes wrong, help may be days or weeks away if it comes at all. Despite the danger, humans are there. Research stations from dozens of countries operate year-round. Scientists study climate, astronomy, geology, biology, and physics. Antarctica is one of the best places on Earth to observe space. The air is clean. The skies are dark. Radio interference is minimal. Antarctica belongs to no one. In 1959, countries signed the Antarctic Treaty. It bans military activity. It bans nuclear weapons. It bans mineral mining. Antarctica is legally reserved for peace and science. This makes it unique in human history. Antarctica is warming, not evenly, but dangerously. Parts of West Antarctica are losing ice rapidly. Glaciers that were once stable are now collapsing into the ocean. Scientists fear tipping points. Once crossed, they cannot be reversed. Antarctica controls global sea levels. It influences ocean currents. It affects weather patterns across the planet. What happens in Antarctica does not stay in Antarctica. It affects everyone. Beneath Antarctica's ice, scientists have also discovered vast river systems that still flow today. Not with water, but with pressurized brine and sediments. Slowly moving under kilometers of frozen weight, these subglacial rivers reshape the landscape beneath the ice and influence how glaciers slide toward the ocean. One of the most mysterious regions lies in West Antarctica, where radar data reveal the massive geothermal heat source deep below the crust. This heat melts ice from underneath, accelerating glacier movement and making the region one of the most unstable. On the continent, in some areas, scientists have detected active volcanic systems buried beneath the ice. There are over 100 suspected volcanoes in Antarctica, many of them hidden and potentially active. Mount Erebus, one of the few visible Antarctic volcanoes, contains a persistent lava lake, proving that the continent is far from geologically dead. Volcanic heat contributes to subglacial melting and creates environments where microbial life may survive without sunlight. Antarctica is also one of the most important places on Earth for understanding climate history. Ice cores drilled deep into the ice preserve a frozen record of Earth as atmosphere. Going back more than 800,000 years, tiny air bubbles trapped in the ice reveal past levels of carbon dioxide, methane, and oxygen. By studying these cores, scientists can see how Earth's climate changed during ice ages and warm periods, and how closely temperature is linked to greenhouse gases. Antarctica's ice acts like a time capsule, storing evidence of ancient volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, and even pollution from early human industry. Modern Antarctica is changing faster than at any time in recorded history. Satellite observations show that the Antarctic ice sheet is losing hundreds of billions of tons of ice every year. The greatest losses are occurring in West Antarctica and along the Antarctic Peninsula. Some glaciers, such as Thwaites Glacier, have been labeled doomsday glaciers because their collapse could trigger unstoppable ice loss. Across the region, Thwaites alone holds enough ice to raise global sea levels by over half a meter. If surrounding glaciers follow, the impact would be measured in meters, not centimeters. Scientists have discovered that warm ocean water is flowing underneath these glaciers, melting them from below. This process is invisible from the surface, making it especially dangerous and difficult to stop. Antarctica also plays a critical role in regulating Earth's oceans. Cold, dense Antarctic water sinks and drives global ocean circulation, distributing heat and nutrients around the planet. Changes in Antarctic ice and temperature can disrupt the system, potentially altering weather patterns, fisheries, and ecosystems worldwide. Life in Antarctica exists in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Penguins, seals, and microorganisms have evolved extreme adaptations to survive freezing temperatures and long periods of darkness. Beneath the ice, bacteria may survive on chemical energy rather than sunlight, similar to organisms found near deep-sea hydrothermal vents. These discoveries challenge traditional definitions of where life can exist. Humans are allowed to visit Antarctica, but access is tightly controlled. Most visitors arrive on research missions or limited tourist expeditions during the brief summer season. Even then, conditions remain dangerous, and strict environmental rules are enforced to prevent contamination. Nothing can be taken. Nothing can be left behind. Antarctica remains one of the last places on Earth governed by international cooperation. Rather than ownership, scientists continue to race against time to understand Antarctica before its changes become irreversible. What happens beneath the ice is no longer hidden. It is shaping the future of Earth's climate, oceans, and coastlines. Antarctica is not just a frozen wilderness at the end of the world. It is a living system, deeply connected to every continent and every human life on the planet.